so I remember turning the TV down and I said, "Grandpa, it's Ruben." And he looked over at me, and listen to this. I was standing in my surgery garb. I had on my scrubs. I had on my hat. The mask was hanging around my neck. And he looked over and he said, my. And he started laughing. Now, here's the funny thing. You know why he was laughing? It wasn't because he was in the hospital. He wasn't laughing because he had congestive heart failure. You know why he was laughing? He was laughing because I had the opportunity to work in surgery. He was laughing because he realized that at this stage of his life, when he had more yesterdays than he did tomorrow, at this stage in his life when he looked over at me, that he realized that it had been for something. See, my grandfather left home when he was 13 years old. He was born in the 1800s. And he said that he really just had to do whatever he could to survive. That he worked as what they called a field hand, and that means he did whatever they told him to do. And here's the thing. He said if you didn't work, you didn't eat. He said, so he did the work of grown men. That they didn't separate it out. They didn't make it easier for him that because he was a young kid. No, they said it was simply about the mouths that they had to feed. And so here's what they did. He said they paid him 6 cents a day. 6 cents a day. And it was hard labor. And he said, and then they turned around and charged him 4 cents a week to live in the barn. And he said he did it. He didn't worry about it. That was honest work, that he had to do whatever he had to do. And he told me how they learned how to eat the leftover food that they weren't going to sell and make it taste good. He said that's how they learned to eat pig's feet and pig's ears and hog maw and cow tongue and chitlings and all those things that they learned how to cook to make them palatable. He said they learned how to cook them that way because that was really what was left over. But what really got me is he said, I did it so that you would have the opportunity to do whatever you wanted to do. And so as I stood there in this hospital looking at him in the bed, and his hands were swollen from arthritis and the congestive heart failure, and his feet were swollen, I thought to myself, am I doing enough? That he is on the way out, that he has ran his race, but he was handing me the baton. See, what I want to get to you is that when we celebrate this day, the people who gave their all, I want you to think about who was it that sacrificed for you? Who was it that worked extra shifts or went the extra mile? Who was it that decided they wouldn't go back to school to give you the opportunity to go to school? Who was it that made sure you had every single thing that you needed? That they even gave you a word of encouragement? That they were there for you when you needed them, that they would give you their last just to make sure you had. Who was that person? See, we all have had someone who has sacrificed for us. When I thought about what my grandfather done that day, I realized that this wouldn't be it for me. That even though I was working in surgery, even though I was a surgical tech passing instruments to the doctor, I realized that there was more for me, that I had more in the tank, and that now he was handing me the baton. It's like this. If you've ever seen a track meet and they run the relay, they have the lead leg. They start out and they're just running. They're trying to get as far out ahead as they can. That's what our forefathers done. They took the lead leg. They tried to get us as far out as they could. And then they round the corner, and you know what they do? They hand off the baton. They say, stick, and then they hand it to the next person. That might have been our grandparents. And so now our grandparents are now running that second leg, and they went through some things in the past. They've overcome some obstacles. They faced some challenges so that we can have a better life. They did it for us. But they can't keep the baton. They have to pass it on. So they go to our parents, and you know what they say? Stick, and they reach out and they take it. And now they're going on their course, and they're doing everything they need. They're moving up in the world. They're starting some investments, starting some saving, owning some property. They're doing different things that will allow us to see a different life. And then when they make that lap, we're the anchor. They call us. They say stick, and they hand us the baton. And here's what I've discovered. That in spite of the people that have sacrificed for so many, in spite of the fact that some of us can do anything we want, all we have to do is choose to do it, we can go anywhere. We can be anything we want to be. All we have to do is commit to being it. We get the baton and we go sit down. We don't even run. And we feel like we have a legitimate reason that sometimes we're scared, that we don't know how it's going to come out. I can tell you, I remember being in the Gulf War in Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm. I remember being on the plane as we flew in the day the war started, and we were being escorted, and we landed, and they said, you know what, we are at war. I was 21, and I was scared. But you know what I committed to doing? I committed that I would feel the fear and do it anyway. As a matter of fact, that's a book right now by Susan Jeffers, Ph.D. It's Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. That for those of you who are thinking about going after that next degree, or thinking about getting in your relationship again, or thinking about trying to take your life to the next level, and you're worried and you're afraid, I get it. Feel the fear and do it anywhere. Will Smith in his movie After Earth, he said, danger is real, but fear is a choice. That you have to feel the fear and do it anyway. Why? Because I guarantee you right now, there's some people who really wish they had the opportunity to feel fear. They wish that they had the opportunity to just do it anyway. And they don't. And so because we're the people who have been blessed with that opportunity, that we have to get up and get moving, that, ladies and gentlemen, life has handed you the baton. It's the last lap. It's the anchor leg. And my question is, are you going to run? I get it. I was reading a book by my friend Sanji Iyemi, and he said his book was entitled Don't Die Sitting. Listen to that. His book was entitled Don't Die Sitting, and he personally autographed it for me. He said, Ruben, everybody dies, but everybody does not truly live. Everybody dies. But he said they don't all live. That they're controlled by fear. They're controlled by what they feel is circumstance. That they just sit there. They're going to die sitting. That they've been handed the baton, and they always look for the easy way out, and they don't understand that someone paid the ultimate sacrifice so that they could have the opportunity to live, to express, to be. And I know what it's like. I know it's difficult. When I watched the video of him standing out there saluting, it just really touched me. It got to me. And you saw bikers pull their bikes over, get off, and salute this guy. And he never moved. He stood at attention, hard concrete, over 3 hours, in the sun, dress uniform. He had a purpose. Every single person on this call has a purpose. And what you have to understand is somebody sacrificed so that you could live out that purpose. My question is, what are you going to do? They've handed you the baton. What are you going to do? See, sometimes we're caught up by the things that's happened in our past, and they're not always good. Sometimes they're difficult. And if you're one of the people on this call who have lost one of the loved ones, especially in the service of our armed forces, I salute you. And I can only imagine how difficult it is. Walter Anderson said, bad things do happen. How I respond to them defines my character and the quality of my life. I can choose to sit in perpetual sadness, immobilized by the gravity of my loss, or I can choose to rise from the pain and cherish the most precious gift I have, life itself. That was that Marine. That was the Marine in his dress blues. That's why Tim Chambers stood out there with the flak jacket at his feet at salute, because he was cherishing the most precious gift he had, life itself, and he was going out there and expressing it. And what you have to do is to understand that your job, the way to honor those people who sacrificed their all, is to cherish the most precious gift you have. What's that? It's life itself, that you have to get out there. You have to feel the fear and do it anyway. You have to make up in your mind that you won't die sitting. You won't die sitting. And it's difficult sometimes, because we don't know what the next step will be. We don't know if we're going to make it. But here's what we do know, that if you don't try, You'll never know. That you just have to get a plan together and just go out there. You just have to put it into action. General Patton said a good plan executed today is better than a perfect plan executed at some indefinite point in the future. The reason most people don't move is because they're trying to get their plan perfect. And it doesn't have to be. That you just have to get started. There's going to be some things that you learn along the way. There's going to be some things that you discover. When I realized that my grandfather had sacrificed all that, I said, you know what, Grandpa, I wanted to be a surgical first assistant. I said I was going to do it. I was making that commitment, but I took my foot off the gas, and I was satisfied with working here at the hospital. But I realized that you sacrificed much more than I could ever ask you to do it, and you didn't even challenged me to do it. You didn't even say that I owed you anything, but I understood it, that you did it because you love me. And so because of that sacrifice, I'm going to go on. I'm going to go farther. I'm going to push forward. And that's exactly what I did. I committed that, wait a minute, I had not had an idea to start this profession in the state of Kansas, and I backed off the idea, and I have to go for it. That it was my calling, that there's things I'm paid to do, but there's also things that I'm made to do. I said one time that I wanted to speak, and I didn't know that I could develop my voice in the way that I have, but I just decided to step out there. Why? Because somebody paid the ultimate sacrifice for me to be here today. They paid that same sacrifice for you. Somebody paid the sacrifice for you to be here today. That every single thing that you have right now, if you think about it, somebody else helped pay the price for you to have it. And the way that you honor them, the way that you really give homage to their service, is that you live your best life. That you don't settle, that you don't sit down, that you don't take the baton and stand there, that like my friend Sanji said, you don't die sitting. I know this is a difficult message today, but I had to bring it to you because as I watched this video and seeing all of those motorcycle riders drive by, I realized that they represent the fact that there's some people that will never have an opportunity again. And we do. And so the most important thing we can do is act. The most important thing we can do is stand. The most important thing we can do is go after those dreams, those aspirations. We may not be able to achieve them. We may even fall short, but that's okay. At least we tried. We didn't die sitting. Irma Bombeck said, when I stand before God, at the end of my life, I would hope I would not have one single bit of talent left. And I could say, I have used everything you have given. What I'm going to say is that the race has already been started. That some people have already went around the track. And guess what? They just passed you the baton. My message for you, run. Stacey?
Wow. Dr. Ruben West, run. I know that's right. I was already down the block. I had to come back and get on the call. I love it. What a tribute to the lives of those who sacrificed, the ultimate sacrifice. And to you as a veteran, Ruben, and all those that are listening, I continue to champion the cause of honoring those who have the courage to run and take that baton and not look at the danger that they place themselves in order to protect the freedom that we have. So your message tonight was right on target. Your grandfather must continue to be proud of who you are, what you've done, and how you've taken the baton and run the race. And as you pass it on to those who work with you and the lives that you are touching globally, I'm just excited for you and for the legacy that is being built as a result of you running. Wow, wow, wow. Woo! I tell you, the lines are still burning tonight, but God is good. We did not have a technical glitch.
I agree. That's right.
So that is a beautiful thing. So I know callers want to know how they can connect with you. Some of them missed it last week. Please tell them how they can connect, how they can stay in touch, and follow the work that you're doing.
Absolutely. So they can reach out to me on my social media page. Is Ruben, R-U-B-E-N, West, W-E-S-T. That's Ruben West. I have a fan page. It's Ruben West Speaks, spelled the same. And then my website is rubenwest360.com. Now, on my social media pages, you'll be able to find other videos that I've done. I do a weekly video every week for motivation and inspiration. And also, if they go to my YouTube channel, which is, again, Ruben, R-U-B-E-N, West, W-E-S-T, I also do a weekly video there.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I know that we have another call that we have to get on shortly, but I do want to open up because I'm sure that callers have a comment and or a question that they want to share. And those of you that are listening, I will announce at the end of the call again how to stay connected with Mr. Brown, but it's brown.les on Facebook as well as lesbrown.com. And you can also connect with all of the platinum speakers at Les Brown Platinum Speakers Network.com. So that's LBPSN.com, LBPSN.com. There you can see the profiles of all of the platinum speakers that you've heard on this call when Mr. Brown is traveling, and stay connected. There's also a Facebook group, Les Brown Platinum Speakers Network, and you can do a search and find that on social media as well. But do you have about 2 minutes, Ruben, so that we can hear from our callers?
Absolutely.
Okay. Everyone, please stand by.
All callers are unmuted. All callers are muted and may unmute themselves by pressing *6.
Okay, callers, you can press *6 if you have a question and or comment.
Hello. Hello, Dr.
Hi.
Ruben.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Ben. First of all, I'm calling from Israel, and I wanted to thank you so much for your message today. It's almost 4 a.m. here, and I'm so happy I made it to the end of the call. You really moved my heart, and I told Dr. Stacy earlier today about the message you delivered on the last motivational call. Then I wanted to tell you thank you so much. I'm dealing with a health situation, something that's called Crohn's disease, if you know it. And a couple of years ago, I weighed 70 pounds at a height of 6'1", and I really struggled for my life. And this motivational platform of Mr. Brown really gave me the strength to save my own life, you know. And last week I heard what you said, and suddenly it burst some bubble that I had inside of me. You know, I kept holding myself back from truly living, and I heard what you said about living in spite of, and it connected with me because I saw some movie that had a line in it that said, you know, that my life is not going to wait for me to get better. And when I heard what you said, and it just resonated me in such a deep level, and I immediately after that call I started to write a book that I was holding inside of me for about a year. You know, I was planning to write it, and somehow I never got to it. And immediately after that call, I just opened up the document and started writing, and I already have a whole chapter. It's called The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Gastro Galaxy. It's supposed to be for doctors and patients and their family members to explain to them how to deal with Crohn's disease and to conquer it. And I wanted to thank you so much because you and Dr. Stacy last week really helped me to make a step to the next level, you know, of myself. And I told Dr. Stacy, you know, if last week your words severely injured my inner critic, today he died. You know, you verified the kill with all the things you said today. And I wanted to thank you so much again, you know, and I hope I'll have the opportunity, you know, to participate with you in the Platinum Speakers Network, because I would so much love to have the opportunity to hear more of the stuff you say. Really,
Absolutely.
you really resonated with me.
Let me tell you, you started running.
Yes.
After the baton, you're running. I would love to get a copy of the book. Make sure you message me on Facebook, RUBEN.
Of course, I'll do that.
Yes, do that. Let's connect. But I'm glad to see that you have the baton and you're running the race. I love it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Ruben.
And and you know what, Dr. Ruben West, Ben is amazing. I came in the office because getting ready for the call, and I'm glad I took it from Israel. There are people right here in the United States where it's only almost 8:30. It's almost 4 a.m., and he is tuning in because he's committed to running with that baton. So, Ben, this is just the beginning for you. You are a prime example of why Mr. Brown has established this line and having this call every single Monday. So, onward and upward from here, my friend. You'll get information on the Platinum Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, too.
You're welcome.
Hello.
Yes, go right ahead.
My name is Lashankita, and I'm calling from Mississippi. And last year, this time, my mother was murdered. She was a prison warden, and I'm an only child, and everything that you were saying about the sacrifice and me giving up, my dream was to go to law school, and my mother told me she had 2 years before she retired, and she was going to move to my area if I really wanted to do that, and it just felt like my whole world was shattered. But now that I'm listening to you, Mr. Ruben, it's like I need to get up because my mother was such a hard worker, but I just feel lost. But listening to the words that you're saying is giving me hope and motivation that I can move forward and make my mom proud. But today's 1 year that the day she was murdered, May 25th, 2014.
I see. Well, let me tell you, your mother is already proud. She's proud that you're still here. She's proud that you've hung on this far. But she's proud that you haven't given up, because sure, you've had a setback, but you haven't let it stop you. And so now the way you're going to honor your mother is that you're going to get back on your feet, that you're going to cherish the most precious gift you have, and that is life itself. I commend you because it's not easy. I commend you because it's difficult when we lose a loved one. I commend you, especially being an only child. I commend you. And so I want to tell you that we recognize the difficulty that you're facing, but I commend you for taking a stand. And this is the place. You need to have yourself connected with, as Mr. Brown puts it, a community of collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships. And here's what I'm going to tell you. You'll find it on this call. Please make sure you message me, because I have a message for you. I have a CD that I've done, and I will send it. I want to get it to you. It's just for these situations. So it's called Live Beyond the Moment. So please message me on Facebook. I'm like,
yes, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And thank you for speaking up. God bless you today. And it's wonderful to hear what happens. Ruben, this is why we do this, the power in being able to share your story and share words that can inspire someone even in the midst of a horrible, challenging moment. They can still find a way to hold on to the baton and run with it, just as you said. So we have about a minute or two for anyone else who would like to give a comment or have a question.
Yes.
Go right ahead.
Dr. Grant, how you doing? Hello, Dr. Grant.
Yes, how are you?
How you doing? This is Dorian here in Chica, Kansas, part of Ruben's Black Belt Speakers. I want to thank you all for doing what you did today, Memorial Day. Ruben, as a veteran, that message really resonates. Thank you. I know you ain't got much time, but I just want to say thank you both for what you're doing, and keep it up.
Awesome, and thank you for your service to our country.
Thank you.
Okay, we have one more caller. I hear someone else trying to get through, and we want you to be able to share your thoughts, but please connect with Dr. Ruben West on social media, on his website, and you can continue the conversation. Go to the Les Brown Platinum Speakers website so you can follow and get more information on Ruben and everyone else that's involved with the network. So one more caller.
Hello, Dr. Ruben?
Yes.
This is William speaking. When you were saying feel your fear and do it anyways, I've been having like certain issues in my life where I wanted to give up, but once you told me that, it light up a spark in me, and from there on, I want to keep rolling and take the baton, as you said. And when you said that, that was like really, like it opened my eyes to everything.
Yeah, and let me tell you this, William. The fear is not going to go away. See, most people think, I can promise you that. There's things that I've done that I just do them in the midst of the fear. See, that's every time you call somebody a hero or every superhero you ever looked at, it wasn't that they didn't have fear, it's that they didn't let the fear stop them. And sometimes it seems so real that we allow for it to stop us. But what you have to realize is that it's not going anywhere, but it's not stopping you, that you have the power within you to feel the fear and do it anyway. And so I want you to keep up with me. I want to see how you're progressing, and I want you to make a commitment to show up on this call weekly, because we have Mr. Brown on the call, we have Stacey N.C. Grant and Anita Hicks, we have different speakers, and so I want you to make sure you stay connected with our network, but also I want you to make sure that you stay connected with me. So make sure you message me so I can really keep track of where you're going, how you're progressing, but I commend you for being willing to take that step. Remember, somebody sacrificed so you have the opportunity to take this step. How do you honor them? By taking it.
All right. Thank you very much, Doctor. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So stand.
All callers are muted.
Once again, Dr. Ruben West, thank you so much for the amazing message tonight. The words that you have spoken, as you can see evidenced by those who shared with you tonight, what it's done for them, where it touched them in a place that only sincerity and transparency and the willingness to help people step into their greatness comes from. And that is what our fearless leader, Mr. Les Brown, continues to do by example each and every day. So we're honored that you were able to share that message tonight. We're honored that you were able to represent the veterans who have gone on before, who have passed the baton to other veterans like you and to us as a country, and to anyone who's gone through any challenge, to really not rely on excuses, but to actually take up the baton and start moving one foot in front of the other like your life depended on it, because it actually does. So thank you again for your message, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. This is Les Brown's Motivational Monday Night Call, your place for motivation and inspiration. We hope that you stay connected with Mr. Brown on Facebook, brown.les, that's brown.les, online at www.lesbrown.com and lesbrownevents.com. You can also connect with the Platinum Speakers at lbpsn.com, and you can meet and interact and message all of the Platinum Speakers that are currently on and available on that website. We also hope that you continue to tell a friend, let someone know about the inspiration that happens every Monday. And those of you who have not tuned in to Les Brown on YouTube, you can hear some of his messages that have been documented and recorded and shared all over the world there as well. So as we close out on this Memorial Day, as folks are winding down from a day off from work, I hope that they have been inspired through you, because you're on this call and you're going to share the message that Dr. Ruben West gave about running. Let's not let tomorrow start the way it started in the past. It's a new day, a new opportunity to live your best life. Any closing words, Dr. Ruben West?
I am just thankful to have the opportunity to deliver this message, Stacey. I just want to commend you on the work that you're doing. You show up weekly and you represent the Platinum Speakers in an excellent way. And so I have to commend you. Thank you for the introduction, but thank you for being here and sharing your message. And make sure you tell the listeners where they can connect with you, because you are doing some amazing things. Please.
Oh, you are so kind. Thank you, thank you. Well, I'm the only STACIENC, like North Carolina, Grant, on every social media forum, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and you can find me there and interact. Thank you for that, Ruben. I'm so excited about your message. I didn't share that, but I appreciate you checking me on that so folks can stay connected, because some of you are praying for me. You're not praying hard enough because you know God's not finished yet. But stay connected on social media. Stacey NC Grant, STACIENCGRANT.com. And I want to shout out some of my Destiny designers that I see are listening. Diane, I see you out there. So thank you so much to all of you. We can only do this thing called life together. And you know how I already feel about you, Dr. Ruben West. You are a true brother, a true friend, and a true example of excellence. So God bless you. God bless you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll be back again next week. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.